Hello my fellow pilots, and welcome again to another episode of Star Citizen FM, number 7. My name is Dr. Hawk, and I will be here with you today recapping Wingmans Hanger, among other things, as well as an interview with an interesting individual. Anyways, I would also like to take a quick opportunity to apologize in advance for my tart behavior. I don't like having late shows, and I was called out to work, so I apologize if you're getting this late. In the future, I will try to be more prompt. However, let us get to Wingmans Hanger Episode 8. In this week in review, we had a few interesting topics covered, among numerous sound and video issues, and by the way, don't worry, Eric, guys, that happens. Some interesting things were brought to the table. One of the main forum topics that's been discussed is the issue of having bronze and silver Star Citizen cards upgraded to metal. The deadline for this is passed. The deadline to have this all submitted and ready was Friday, I believe. Friday the 15th. So if you've missed that, unfortunately you're stuck with what you got. But if you upgraded beforehand and got your metal card, then you should be happy. That being said, it also should be known that you can now expect your citizen cards to arrive in the immediate future, whether you got from the basic bounty hunter all the way to an admiral. Although I do not know if you'd actually be receiving a pure platinum card. In that case, I would probably have to mug you, as I'm a little short on cash right now. So Star Citizen cards are on their way out as well. The Hanger module is coming along. The full feature design has been covered, and it is on its way for us to soon play, explore, bug break in general, complain, what have you not, etc. That should be coming along. We will have more news on that in the future. I'm actually looking forward to this, as it will be the first opportunity for some of us to benchmark, see where the art design is coming along, as well as just see how the game is looking in general. Previously mentioned on the last episode, as well as other Wingmans Hanger episodes, the interviews with their potential physics programmer is down to 2 interviewees, with the possibility, and this is just saying possibility, of both programmers being hired. Having more programmers working on more of the game results in better game. There's nothing really I can word that would make that seem more interesting. Although, maybe we could work on projectile physics, I don't know. As well, they are also interviewing for senior and junior design positions. If you're a senior or junior design person, send in a resume to CGI headquarters with your resume, portfolio, and everything that you would need to acquire a job, as well as a happy attitude and a happy working ethic. And I'm pretty sure they could use you, provided you're not living on the other side of the planet. Although at the same time, if you took a round-trip flight, you could probably do it. I don't know, come on, live on the edge. As well, all we also got was meetings, more meetings, some meetings, and the possibility of more meetings. What this means for the fans, it means that they're talking about a lot of secret stuff that we're not allowed to know about. In all honesty, as mentioned, secret stuff, this could be potential designs, story, plot, programming, etc., or even investor meets. Wingman himself mentioned that the feel of the studio is feeling happy and exciting. Things are going forward. They're probably getting ready for, crunch time is more near the end, but still, depending on how you want to word it, they could be getting ready for just hunkering down and working, with Wingman being our only source of info. So that was Wingman's week in review, so let us move on to the forum feedback. In this week's forum feedback, more fan-submitted questions, both video and text, were answered. The first one was from how about S-M-U-T-S-T? See, I can't even spell it right. S-M-U-H-T-S-T, arriving on time. Okay, no. Anyways, his question was, plans for the leftover money, what is to be done with it? Eric clarified that the leftover money once the game is shipped and ready, or at least, semi-gold and almost looking ready, will be for hookers and blow. All the way. Hookers and blow for everyone. No. The leftover money, as always, where they're going to try to pump every ounce of it they can into the game itself, resulting in better game. He even brought up the idea that means they don't have to raise more money from private funders, meaning they have more control over the game, and that we don't have to worry about catering to people that don't want certain things, etc., etc., meaning Star Citizen will be the fans' game and not an investor's game, which is great news for all of us. So that was that person's name. By the way, this person, I'm sorry, but I can't say your name. I'm rage quitting right now, BRB, GG, failed. Anyways, Allgamer asked the next question of, will we receive the letter of marque, or will it be possible to become a licensed pirate, or equivalent job, etc.? This could be a distinct possibility according to Wingman, yes, and not just limited to pirates. This could actually create very interesting situations. I've always liked my explorer / bounty hunter, so if you could be a licensed pirate to steal from the pirates, it would create interesting engagements and predicaments, and I don't know. The possibilities for extrapolation and speculation are endless, but if he says yes, then maybe it won't just be every pirate you see you can blast. You'll have actual privateers. Raider Football 11 asked the next question of when will we get to see the other aliens, etc. Eric didn't really clarify on this. He said, for now, get ready to learn more about the Vandul. As for the other races, or if there will be other races, I guess we're just going to have to sit and wait and be patient. Although in the meantime, for anybody that is interested in the Vandul, this is your time to start perking up and paying attention. Some other guy named Dr. Hawk asked a question, will weapon projectiles go as far as they can or disappear at a point? I think this guy's an idiot. I really don't know where he's coming from. Wingman responded that weapon projectiles, as to be expected with most games, will disappear at a certain point. Space and real life, they continue on forever and ever, but given the fact that they're working with an engine and that you can have an exponential amount of rounds in the environment at any given time, we'll just chug the engine. Although how they go about doing this to create an immersive experience would be interesting. And by the way, shout out to you, Eric. Thank you very much for the spotlight. That was pretty cool. I kind of did expect that answer, and as such, I have this retort.
This recruits is a 20-kilo ferrous slug. Feel the weight! Every 5 seconds, the main gun of an Everest-class dreadnought accelerates 1 to 1.3% of light speed. It impacts with the force of a 38-kiloton bomb. That is 3 times the yield of the city buster dropped on Hiroshima back on Earth. That means Sir Isaac Newton is the deadliest son of a bitch in space. Now, Serviceman Burnside, what is Newton's first law?
Sir, an object in motion stays in motion, sir.
No credit for partial answers, maggot!
Sir, unless acted on by an outside force, sir.
Damn straight! I dare to assume you ignorant jackasses know that space is empty. Once you fire this hunk of metal, it keeps going till it hits something. That can be a ship, or the planet behind that ship. It might go off into deep space and hit somebody else in 10,000 years. If you pull the trigger on this, you are ruining someone's day, somewhere and sometime. That is why you check your damn targets. That is why you wait for the computer to give you a damn firing solution. That is why, Serviceman Chung, we do not eyeball it. This is a weapon of mass destruction. You are not a cowboy shooting from the hip. Sir, yes, sir.
That could pretty much just be their explanation as to why the rounds don't go on forever and ever. Last thing we want to do is hit a Vandal homeworld, do we? Anyways, Koros asked the next question of, can we invite other people into my hangar module? Wink wink. Wingman replied with, of course you can. You can invite whoever you want. But no sexy times. Koros, this is directed to you. No sex, no parties, no hookers and blow, and no dollies. This is serious face. I'm looking at you. Just like Eric was looking at you. Our combined might and eyes should be burning holes through your face right now. I hope you feel guilty. Anyways, you will be able to invite other people into your hangar. I'm assuming this would be similar to either a pre-game lobby or just a lobby in general. Chat, run around, similar to how the bar system would be played out. The last question, second last question was asked by Reebok. Will we get an updated ship document, as the current one is kind of rusty and poopy? As well as, are you wearing pants, Eric? The ship document will be updated. They are actually working on a Galactopedia for Star Citizen, and that will be coming out when the new website is released, so we will, as the fans, have a source to all the lore, etc. in Star Citizen, as well as, I believe, the fan-run Wikipedia that is also in the works too by Fallernon and company. So there will be places to go if you would like to wet your whistle, so to speak, in the lore of Star Citizen. Oh, and no, Wingman doesn't wear pants. Yeah, he does, but Wingman Hanger as always. And finally, again, we had a feature from our Wasteland Wanderer once more himself, Logante, avoiding a bit of a artillery shell. I don't really know what was happening in the video, but will there be customization for our weapons and characters? So for the pilots, actually themselves, not the ships. Wingman clarifying that there will be, bling. Don't know what that is. So like coloring, gold slabs, big old watches, I don't know. Helmet upgrades, armor upgrades, things that would increase your survivability in the event of an ejection. So I'm thinking things like an advanced, oxygen module, ceramic composite, Kevlar, plating, anything that would protect you in the event of an ejection. If anybody's actually familiar with ejecting, it is actually a very unpleasant experience. I can't remember where I read it. I'm trailing off here, but if you're interested, I believe that there is a maximum of only 7 ejections allowed for Air Force pilots due to the immense amount of strain that a pilot's spinal column is put under when they eject. And assuming that Star Citizen, they want to keep it semi-real, that kind of translates over into the whole death of a spaceman mechanic. You don't want your character suddenly stunting and walking around with a cane or that because you have the spinal column that's more curved than a dog's hind leg. So looking at maybe just the back support or whatever, they could really, go into this just to, preserve your character so you don't have to die, so to speak. It also was Logante's birthday on Friday, so next time you see Logante/Hot Rod, as his forum name is in the forums, wish the man a happy birthday, and maybe send him an extra air filter, Rad-X, maybe a few rounds of ammo. Never hurts. Gotta help those guys out, right? That was the forum feedback for the section of the show. Wingman also mentioned to any fans that have submitted videos and have not been featured, do not despair. Some questions can't be answered currently, as they aren't in a situation to really answer them and can't give a definite answer, and others just for lack of time had to be cataloged. So every video is being cataloged. Just because you see somebody twice doesn't mean that they'll be there again or whatnot. Everyone will have an opportunity to be seen. So keep sending your questions and keep getting creative. I'm even seeing creative responses from other people too. Keep doing that. Awesome work, community. High five. Another section of the show that was featured was Wingman's Nose Cam. Now check this out.
Let's take a look at the office. You guys haven't seen it in a while. Come on out. This is where Adam is. There's the markerator. What's up, Mark? What's going on?
Come on, man.
You do what, Mark? What do you do around here? Oh, don't show anything cool. Oh, coming up the wiener, of course. Coming out. Our CTO would be sitting there. There's Tom Oliphant. What's up, Tom?
Programming.
What's up, Brendan?
Howdy.
How you doing, folks? Tom Sawyer's over there, usually. There's the big bear. What's the bear's name?
I'm unsure at this point. He hasn't told me.
He hasn't told you. Well, there you go. There's Pete and Ben. What's up, guys? What's going on down there? All right, let's go straight from into the art pit. Here we go. Kyle sits there. Chris sits there. There's Elijah working on some early concept stuff. What's up, Elijah? There's Zane doing the website stuff. Got some cool stuff. Hey, Zaner. There's Brian, chief animator, lead animator. What's going on? What's going out here? Ooh, there's Forrest. We're going to see him in a little bit. What's going on, Forrest? Oh, wait, let's take a look over here and see Rob Irving. What's up, Rob? Hard at work at documentation?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I like that. So, Forrest, what are you going to show us today?
How about we take a look at the first playable environment?
The first playable environment. Let's have a look. Oh.
Aside from the first-person urination, that was actually kind of cool. To all the fans out there, you know they can't show everything just yet. It's very cool to see the office, but I don't think we'd be seeing any of the modules or anything right off the bat. In fact, I guarantee you a lot of the images there were already, they knew well ahead that he would be recording. So yeah, we're still being teased. We don't have anything definite, and we're still gonna have to wait, so tough shit for us. However, looking forward to more of this if they plan to do it, because, you know, come on. It's always fun to listen to Wingman pretend he's an aeroplane, because sometimes I like to do the same when I'm alone in the dark and have nothing to do. Awkward silence. In the Wide World News segment, two actually interesting features. Curiosity, the rover on Mars, a few days ago began its first core samples of Mars, as well as there is a 66 photo panorama of its location. These can be viewed publicly, and I think they're for anyone if they want on NASA's own homepage, as well as the NASA posts and tweets regular updates regarding Curiosity rover's progress. So if you wanted to check out if there's potential life in space, check that out. As far as I remember, I believe Curiosity is actually sitting in what used to be an old lake bed, if I remember correctly. As well, another interesting topic that needs to be covered. I'm also going to warn my viewers, you might want to turn down now, because I'm going to play this because it is awesome, it is loud, and it has an explosion. On Friday, this happened. Now that, if you'll excuse my swearing, is fucking awesome. Granted, there were casualties, 500 or so injuries, numerous amounts of property damage. By the way, when I say casualties, that doesn't mean immediately death. 500 or so injuries. I don't have an approximate value on property damage yet, but I do know one factory pretty much collapsed. That sonic boom, the meteorite itself reached hypersonic velocity. I believe it came in at the atmosphere at 54,000 kilometers per hour. Although I saw a few American sites are reporting that is 54,000 miles per hour, which would use the metric system. It's so much easier, please. But yes, came in at about 54,000 kilometers an hour. It was a 7-ton rock as far as I know, and it is not actually common for rocks of this size to actually reach the atmosphere without breaking up a lot earlier. That sonic boom produced was heard for miles on end, broke windows everywhere, as I said, injuries. But that was the best damn firework you could have ever seen, and the fact that it was caught from so many different angles on so many dashboard cams that hopefully I'm playing right now, it was very interesting. You can check that out more. Ironically, this was covered as the more bigger asteroid. I think it was D12-13, the bigger rock that missed us by 12,000 miles, that would have detonated with the force of 48. Hiroshima-sized nukes was not covered so much, so priorities. Anyways, check those out. Curiosity and the meteorite. Very interesting news. And that was the worldwide news segment of Wingmans Hanger. As well, on the weather side of Star Citizen Universe, we actually had a slightly gassy nebula. Holy shit. Yeah, that we don't really have much more beyond that. Like I said before, I'm hoping they extrapolate on this a little more, and maybe we'll get to see some of the actual quote dynamic weather effects end quote in Star Citizen. It'd be really cool to see how they formulate their nebulas, maybe like ion storms, etc. As well as there were some more video and sound issues, but that happens. We all have issues every once in a while. Impotency is something that we can... Wait, we weren't talking about that. Another thing that was covered was the interview with Forrest Stefan, and I'm going to agree with that. Wingman is that this man is using 2 first names. He is their technical artist at CGI. The interview is on Wingmans Hanger if you would like to check it out. At the same time, he also during the interview had a little tidbit for Wingman. If you check out the video that should be playing right now, they now have a green screen. Wingman now has his own room in the carrier. This is actually kind of cool. It's good to see that the production is, getting along to the lines of, this level. It actually reminds me of the Angry Joe show. He does a similar thing. So, looking forward to more of this. It was mentioned that the green screen background could be a possible Easter egg, question mark. That would actually be really cool if you could find that location, find Wingmans Hanger in game. Looking forward to the potential of idea for that. I think the only other note, Forrest has a lot of tattoos. Some of them are black holes. if you watch the green screen, you'll get what I mean. There was some little errors, but it was very amusing nonetheless. Check out the interview. Very interesting individual, and thank you, Forrest, for the awesome green screen. Also, Michael Nightingale visited CGI. He brought more booze. They have more booze now to drink. That's not cheap stuff either. It's all the good stuff. Maybe if they're lucky, there's some innocent gun in there. Innocent gun beer. Alexander, okay, and I apologize if I pronounce your name wrong. Alexander Bujnitsky, I think, sent in something from the Popcorn Factory to them. They now have snacks, booze, and more booze. I think I might just send them a knife or some fireworks, or we need to send them less booze and more explodey things and dangerous stuff. Come on, you can't have booze without knives, guns, and rednecks. Come on, community, we have to get this right. We need to send a bunch of gasoline next time, okay? Gasoline, booze, and Bud Light. That's the most typical redneck scenario I can think of. Let's get on that. Finally, the closing segment I can think of, and that I have written down here, is that Zane will be the next update interviewee. He'll be giving updates on the website, as well as a new jump point that will be coming the subscribers' way. That about sums up everything for Wingmans Hanger number 6. I am now going to transition into an awesome interview with an awesome person. And now, ladies and gentlemen, as I promised before, I said I would have an interview with an interesting individual. You have seen his works before in some of Wingman's Hanger, as he has already had 2 questions, with the previous question also being on his birthday, I believe. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to the Wastelander himself, Logante.
Hey, it's a pleasure to be here. This is Logante.
So, Logante, as before, we've noticed that you have a very interesting predicament about you. You mind giving us the info on really who exactly we're talking to here?
Well, this is the persona Logante. What type of question in particular were you curious about?
Well, who are you in regards to the Star Citizen universe, your interest in the universe in general, and we can go maybe into the background later of yourself. But yeah, let's start with Star Citizen and who you are in the forums, the face that people recognize.
Well, my username on the forum was actually RP the Hot Rod, but my character name is Logante. I've always thought that you should have a little fun with things, and CIG has given us a fantastic opportunity to be able to play along with them and really help develop our game by us being a community, and really gave us a lot of room to show our creativity as a community. So I just kind of want to have some fun, and when Eric, the Wingman, wanted some video suggestions or questions, I figured it'd be a great opportunity just to kind of have that little fun, because I'm not really doing it just for spotlight, because I'm not interested at all. I'm doing it to challenge the community that, hey, you guys have a great opportunity to do something cool. Here's an example, so I really want to see what others can do. So this next upcoming week, I'm probably going to back off and not do anything, because this is a chance for a lot of people to step up. I'm not interested in spotlight. I'm interested in this community being amazing. So that's my challenge to everyone out there.
That sounds almost like manager speak to me.
I hope not.
Here's my challenge to you. Sorry, I used to work chain restaurant, and McDonald's included, so I was used to hearing those terms from managers.
Gotcha.
So no, you're not currently being attacked, or we're not going to have to worry about your any issues coming from them or anything.
Oh well, when it comes to them, I love lore, I love story. I'm actually trying to write a book right now. It's not about the Logante scenario or anything, but when I was asking questions, I wanted to create a little mystery of what's going on. And as I do ask questions, which there will be more questions, I wanted to create my own little lore and story in the background that people listening would be able to try to piece together what's really going on. What I can say is that Logante is stationed on a fringe planet, on a planet that's not populated by a lot of people. It's just a military base, and there are some natives, I should say, that are on a planet that aren't happy with their presence. So as the questions continue, you'll get a little more and more and more of what's going on behind the scene and scenario around Logante's post at this outpost.
Oh, I bet even the audience can tell now, even with the voice filter, you're a creative individual, and the endeavor and work that you put into it is not unnoticed. And the fact that you even mentioned, previously that you'd like to see the community show its creativity is very commendable. In fact, that's something I think I've mentioned myself before, is that, this is an amazing community. I'm not seeing explicative words ahead, bitch, faggot, nigger, whatever, thrown around here and everywhere. We have a very mature group with some occasional issues, but people are being pretty awesome. And if we can...
Agree. I'm really impressed with the community, actually. So 5 stars to all you guys out there. Keep it up. This is good.
So, given the fact that you've pretty much attained a lot of interest from your videos to begin with, the suit in general is very impressive. You know, maybe give us a quick rundown on that, because you know most cosplay I've ever done is maybe a cardboard box on my head, and that's about it.
Well, I work an office job, and that means typically people expect you to be quite boring. However, I'm a firm believer in shaking things up. My motto is smile. It confuses people. So, it's true. I actually had that posted on a sticky note on my computer for years at my old job. And when I got a new job, my boss sent a picture of him holding that sticky note and texted it to me. So, but you gotta shake things up, make things interesting. And a few years ago, I was like, you know what? I never do anything for Halloween. I don't. You know, it just comes and goes, comes and goes. Although it's one of my favorite holidays because that's just so much creativity comes out. So I was like, you know what? I love the wasteland survival type scenarios on the post-apocalyptic surviving and zombies. I love that kind of stuff. It's like, I want to do something interesting. So I tried to scavenge as much as I could because I wanted the suit to look like it was scavenged. I wanted to make it look like very makeshift, very worn out. So everything in the suit, my father and I actually went out and gathered materials. A little trivia, part of the helmet that holds up the antenna is the soda machine part. My
nice.
paint on the back is actually painted in a way that makes it look metal, but it's actually a plastic pull-on part. You know, I did everything I could to make it just look as scavenged as possible, because when you do that, it looks like someone's really desperate. They're trying to survive, and that's exactly what I wanted.
I had 2 friends that used to RP. Well, they still do RP as Jedi. They like that, you know, that religious belief of Jedi. But they did the same when they built their lightsabers. Like they actually went out. You know, one guy he used a motorbike handle, and the other used a oh god, I forget what it was. It's one of those pipes used to hold up roofs, but it had the interesting slots in it, so that when he did dress it up, it like was almost a baton-like spring-loaded lightsaber. It would go from about like half a foot to a foot once he pressed a button. It was actually fairly interesting.
Fantastic. I mean, when you try to do things yourself, you can really be creative. If you try to buy things out of the box online, you're very limited to what you can do. There's really not a lot of creativity. So yeah, if you do things yourself, it's a lot of stuff you can do.
And I guess the same thing transitions over, sorry to cut you off, but the same thing transitions over to the community and what you were trying to say here, you know. You want people to do the same thing here. Like even, I've seen some people using Go Animate, and while I will say right off the bat I don't like that program, I give commendation to the people that have, because it shows they're trying. You know, if you arm wrestle a guy that's, you know, 10 times stronger and you lose, you didn't lose, you tried, when everybody else wouldn't.
Yeah, there's no harm in trying whether you pass or fail. I think the point is to go out there and do something. Prime example, I believe that the last Wingmans Hanger, the animation of Wingman in that suit, I believe that was community made. That's exactly.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was pretty great.
Do that. Do more. I mean, we're in this together. The CIG, guys making the games, and us as a community.
Indeed. But yeah, to get to the other point, I wanted to actually ask you to sidetrack because I actually forgot about it. When you mentioned you do well with the voice composition, even now, you have some music skills, I believe.
Yes, I am by hobby a composer. I started off with electronica music. I played the piano since I was a kid. But I was doing electronica now. For a while, I was doing horror music for video games, ambience, and stuff like that. And currently, I am working on doing video game orchestral music. And as a matter of fact, I'm actually working on a song that's themed after Star Citizen. I'm the one doing the recruitment video music for Systems United Navy, which is the squadron I'm part of. And the name of the song I'm currently composing is called Star Chaser.
I've heard it. I'll actually try to post a link for that for anyone interested in listening to it. I still highly encourage that you should listen to it regardless, as he's a very good composer. Back to you.
One thing is, for people that don't think they have a lot of creativity, in your just daily thoughts, just think the most mundane things and try to change it around. Like, I have a friend of mine that he said he hates Christmas music because it always starts playing in November, and then all through December, and then even into January, and it drives him crazy. So I was like, you know what, turn it around. You know, when I hear Christmas music, I like imagining that I'm sitting back in this vast wasteland of a destroyed city. You know, I'm holed up in some sort of building that's in ruins, and instead of snow, it's ash. And somewhere off in the distance, you can't tell where it is because it's echoing throughout the wasteland. You hear this Christmas music somewhere off in the wasteland. I know it sounds silly and crazy perhaps, but when you can turn mundane things into something really interesting and creative, it really allows you to expand your imagination.
So I have to ask, and just to clarify for the audience too, what are your inspirations for the Wasteland? Is it Fallout, Stalker, Metro 2033? There's a lot of great Wasteland survival there. I've only mentioned 3, but those are pretty much my prime favorite. What are your inspirations when you think of Wasteland? Because you seem to be a big fan of it, the concept in general.
Yeah, that's true, and those games are fantastic. I think I started jumping on the whole idea of post-apocalyptic scenarios playing the original Fallout, and that's when I was a kid. And I just love the whole idea. I mean, right now, the world is such a small place, you know, we know everything. There's nothing left to explore, it feels like, you know. But when it comes to...
There's space.
space. But when it comes to something happening, you know, globally, it would come down to, it retracts from the whole big government setting where everybody knows everything. It goes back down to, you know, survival skills and small communities. It would be these small communities supporting each other and living and surviving. And the thought of going back to more simpler times where it's about surviving and supporting each other in small groups, I just think it's an interesting way of thought of like how life would be. So when it came to these games such as Fallout 1, 2, and 3, you know, Stalker, Metro, that's a fantastic one, I love it. You know, it matches with that. It's like, how would it be? You know, it's very interesting to think that way.
So are you hoping maybe that Star Citizen will have some sort of post-apocalyptic or similar themes for yourself?
I am hoping that there might be some planets out there. I mean, it's very sci-fi, and I'm totally psyched for Star Chaser.
It's okay.
But I think we might find some planets that are stuck in that situation. You know, maybe they're not as spacefaring as the rest of the universe. Or maybe we'll come across some scenarios where, like the Firefly, for example, or Serenity Firefly, love it. It's not spacey, it's very realistic, it's very plausible. It's dirty, gritty, people surviving, even in space. Like, that is one of my all-time favorite movies, because not only is it post-apocalyptic survival type of thing, and it's real, it's plausible. I mean, I love Star Wars, but it's not pew-pew special effects, pew-pew laser beams everywhere. You've got a revolver, you know.
Are we thinking Firefly with Nathan Fillion?
Yes.
Okay,
Serenity.
good. Just checking. Because
Yeah,
I think if you're talking about the movie, that was Serenity.
Yeah, that's why I said Firefly / Serenity.
Sorry, I didn't pick that up. Continue.
Firefly was the TV series, Serenity being the movie.
I watched both of them, brown coat all the way.
Yeah, it's great. But that's my preferred type of scenario. I would love to see that in Star Citizen.
Yeah, I even think your comment, I think, was in the first video, was quite golden, given the fact if adventurers or explorers would have undue damage to their body due to exploring it, both for good and bad consequences. I remember making the comment saying, oh, yeah, if you could be irradiated and people would know you're an explorer, although maybe they might want to avoid you lest you explode or something.
It's a dangerous world out there, or a dangerous universe, I should say. And I would love us to have to be held accountable for living in this type of environment.
And also be very rewarding for those of us like myself who do like to explore, because previous games have always, here's a new area, have a handful of XP, some dirty condoms, and some broken toothpicks, enjoy. Well, shit, I don't really want to explore. I'll go grind a dungeon, So if Star Citizen can improve upon that and make it dangerous, but rewarding, it should be very interesting.
Absolutely. And there's other things that would benefit from that too. I mean, let's say you're a merchant, and you know that there's a nebula nearby, and there's a pirate after you. I mean, you have nothing to lose at this merchant. You are about to die. So do you go into nebula and risk your health a little bit? Because the pirate has nothing to, he doesn't have anything to lose in this type of scenario. You're like, if I go follow him, I'm going to hurt myself. Screw it. I'm just going to go my merry way. He can have it, the nebula. On a merchant's point of view, he has everything to lose. So it's a chance for him to be able to get away without a pirate with a little loss of some potential physical damage, as opposed to a full loss of,
ship, inventory, etc.
Yeah. So it's good for even defensive activities. There's a lot that could benefit from that type of system. Not exploring.
Well, hopefully we can look forward to some kind of, theme or ideas that you and I both seem to think alike would like to see in Star Citizen. I think there was one or two final projects. You mentioned before music composition. Any other projects that you have that maybe the audience would be interested in checking out?
Let's see. The only projects that I'm working on, Star Citizen aligned per se, is I'm kind of writing some lore for fun. I love writing. I'm also composing that music I was talking about. And I am trying to push a idea to CIG concerning how to create dynamic content in the game to fill in the gap between major development cycles. That's still underway, so I can't talk too much about it. But long story short, to help fill in those dead zones in between updates. That's the point of the project I'm trying to work on, and I'm trying to put together the documentation for it. It's no guarantee they'll even take it, but hey, it's fun to put together. Like I said, we're a community. This is our chance to stand up and provide feedback and stuff. So do it. If they don't accept it, oh well, you tried. What you can try. What if you do come up with a great idea that becomes part of Star Citizen? So yes, I totally encourage everybody that this is your chance. You got 2 years or less, actually, so do it now.
And each and every one of you should learn from this man's mentality. Well, I'd like to thank you again, Logante, or Hot Rod, for taking the time to have a little interview with me. Again, amazing work on your previous 2 videos, and I look forward to seeing more. I'd like to close off here by saying goodbye to the audience. I'll let you sign off first, and then, hopefully we can take an opportunity to talk later.
Alright, before I go, I'll say one more thing. In the game, you guys will probably see me as someone protecting the innocent per se, those miners and those traders and merchants. So you guys will definitely see me in game, and if you need a helping hand, just send me a transmission, and I'll do my best to help you out however I can.
Actually, I'd forgotten to ask that. I apologize. So you'll following the Explorer route also be mercenary for hire? Maybe in the sense of neutral good, lawful good alignment?
That's a good question, actually. When it comes to my personality, I tend to be lawful good or neutral good. So I will be a good aligned person to people, and then on my off time, I'll just be like you, exploring those dangerous areas. And I got the suit for it.
Yeah, I just have scales and feathers, damn. Anyways, it's been a pleasure talking to you, Logante. Everyone, this is Dr. Hawk, and Logante.
That's it. Alright. I'll have a good time, and I can tell y'all, by the way, I'm Texan, I'm allowed. And I will see you in the Star Citizen universe.
This is Dr. Hawk, wishing you safe flight. You all take care. Fly safe.